All right, welcome to this episode of the Joyful Scaling Podcast. I'm here with one of my clients. I think you're my longest running client, Carolina Jordan. She is a realtor and a team leader with Low Country Home Sales here in Summerville, South Carolina. She's literally down the road from me right now.
Yes.
She is your Christian family realtor, and let's welcome Carolina to the show.
Hey, Judy, thank you so much. I feel so blessed and I'm super excited to be here. I hope that our conversation can inspire others to do kind of what we're doing and, have fun.
Yes, because that's my brand, and I know that's your heart too, that business needs to be fun. We need to be joy-filled as we do our work, because that joy emanates from everything we do, interactions with people that we're just meeting and clients as well. So that's so good. All right, so I don't know when we met. I was trying to think if it was 2017 or 2018, but
I just started looking back because I was like, oh, she wants me to talk about my sales experience and stuff. And I was like, I know exactly when I started working with Judy, because that's the year that I started making money.
Okay, well, and that's awesome. Now let me back up for just a moment. Your story of, your background story and how you ended up in real estate. Can we just start there just real briefly?
Sure. So I'm originally from Colombia, South America. And as many immigrants that come to this beautiful and wonderful country of the United States, we left because my dad was kidnapped. So we had to leave. We literally took each of us 2 suitcases full of whatever we could take, and we never looked back. We had gone through my dad working in a farm after having his own farms and being the boss and everything, to just be somebody else's person. So that really taught me work ethic and hardworking, and it didn't matter what the circumstances were, you can always succeed. You always have to have God front and center, and I don't think that we would be here without God's help at all. But then we moved to North Carolina. Then I moved into the banking industry, where I also did a lot of customer service in the banking centers. I was very blessed to be able to actually go out of the banking center and train people. So I was able to travel all around the United States training. So that gave me also how to educate, how to train others in the field. And then we started, when I came back from that kind of job, I was helping my dad with flipping houses. So we'll find them. I learned the whole concept of investing and being more interactive with the real estate. And then in 2015, Adam graduated and he got a job here with the hospital in Charleston. So we moved to Charleston, and I absolutely love this place. It reminds me so much of Colombia, and the weather and the trees, and we're close to the beach. And both of us actually got our real estate license, but it was a point in our life where it didn't make sense financially for both of us to go full time. So I started first. The first 2 years, not so good. Then on the 3rd year, I started working with Judy, and everything started happening. And then as of April of this year, my husband quit his job and now is part of my team. So yes, we're very, very excited.
But let's go back. So you said you knew the year you and I started working together. I want you to paint the picture for our audience where you were when we started working together. What was going on?
So we started in October 2016. And I had just closed one deal, and it was a nightmare deal. And then we started focusing on, my faith and how you shouldn't hide that, because I feel like, especially in real estate, we're always taught Don't talk about religion. Don't talk about politics. Don't talk about this. Don't talk about that. But God is just too much not to be able to be part of your business.
Amen.
And you help me get that out of me. Like, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Like, do it afraid, but just get it done. And ever since, like that, your Christian family realtor has been my slogan the whole time that we started, and still, and a lot of people know me by it now, just because like the Lord is present. So in 2017, I did 3 transactions, and then that was kind of like my get to it. And then in 2018, I did 13 transactions. And then past few years, I went from 13 to 20, and hopefully this year is going to be 25. But one thing that I want to tell people is that it's not necessarily the amount of closings, like in my career per se, is how you fulfill that service to the Lord. Because for some people, 3 transactions might be too much for them already. Like that's all they can handle. And they feel fulfilled. Like, oh my gosh, I got to do those 3 transactions and I got the money I needed, or I served the people I needed. So in 2019, we adopted our son, Juan, that Judy has met him.
He's adorable, yes.
And that year, my production went low just because I was trying to figure out that balance of, I went from being an entrepreneur in real estate, a wife, and myself. And now I have to take care of this kid that is coming from Colombia, has no English. I'm the only person that he can communicate with. Like the psychologists and everybody were like, don't put him to school yet. He has to be next to you. He needs to bound. He needs to, like, all these things. And I'm going like, oh my God, like I'm losing myself to this kid. Like, what am I supposed to do? And it took a while, and it took a lot of sessions with you. And we finally were able to establish what I really needed to do, and a lot of prayer. And then my kid decided to like, when am I going to school? Like, where are the children? I'm like, thank you, Lord. And I put him to school, and then I was able to like refocus on like what I needed to do. So again, always putting things into God's hand.
Right.
So for the past 3 years, I have hit 100% club for our brokerage, which is 100,000 or between 100,000 to 255 in commissions. So I'm like super excited because I couldn't have done it without you.
Bravo. Yes, I know. We don't need to necessarily talk numbers because I know there's maybe some hesitation to throw the numbers out there, but you are steadily rising. And I introduced you, and you also mentioned you're a team leader now. So it's you, your husband, and another agent.
Yes.
So I would love to talk about that, because now not only are you managing your own transactions, but you are overseeing, 2 other agents, and all of that really falls on your shoulders. Like, you're the leader. So I would love for you to share with our listeners kind of why did you decide to be a team leader? And you mentioned delegation earlier. So kind of what, you have a different mindset when you are not just you have a team.
Right. So right before we adopted Juan, I brought in a transaction coordinator, and she is absolutely freaking amazing. She is worth every penny. So that started helping me to, okay, I can do other things, what she does. Not necessarily the busy work, but like stuff that I don't need to be like right there all the time. Mm-hmm. So last year, 2021, at the end of 2021, I started thinking that okay, I'm starting to get a lot of leads, a lot of clients that are new. They're not necessarily part of my sphere or necessarily part of my past clients, but just new people. And if I keep going at that pace by myself, I'm going to burn out. And it wasn't fair for my family. It wasn't fair for myself. Like I couldn't do things at church that I wanted to do either. So well, out like this is the way that God works too. Like you start talking to him about the things that you think that you want. And then this year, Adam came into the team, and it has been a lot of prayer because we don't necessarily have the same he's very like 1, 2, 3, but if you debate like is hard, where I'm like, we're just gonna do it. But it's been working good so far. I'm very proud of the team. We have been on the top 100 teams in the South Carolina for Remax. Thank you.
Amazing.
On production, and it's just it's good to have the support and be able to support others, because, and I tell this to Juan too, it's not so much what you get, it's more what you give. And what you give is what you get.
Yes, I know. Isn't it funny? It's better to give than to receive. All right, I want to land on a couple of things, if I can. When we started working together, like you said, you didn't have that many transactions, your brand wasn't clear, and that became more clear. But now you have this steady flow of leads. You are very involved with past clients. I know because I am one. So would you kind of talk through what you learned in the way of marketing and lead gen when we work together that has kind of helped you to sustain and grow the way you have?
So I pretty much work by referral. I'm not the kind that goes and buys leads or pays big companies to bring in leads. I take care of my people. We do a lot of like client like nurturing. Judy from time to time, like I'll show up in her in her door with like a little present of some sort, and
Yes.
buys or cars, or I keep a tab on like what's going on with their lives on social media or like whatever.
And see, that's what I loved about working with you from the very start. You would come to me and say, "Hey, Jude, you know, I have an issue with this, like your brand," and I'd say, "Oh my goodness, you know, you are the Christian family realtor. I asked you, who do you want to work with?" And that's what you said. And I said, "That's what you are." And you're like, "Oh, I can do that." Yes. And I love that you're emphasizing the referral side of the business. There are so many coaches out there who say the only one way to do it is to buy leads, to invest in Zillow. When you are developing this word of mouth, where you are blowing them away with your heart and your service, such that these people are calling you and they're like, "Hi, Carolina, I heard you because so-and-so said you were amazing," right? So I just want everybody listening to understand, when you hear the marketing guru say, don't rely on referral marketing, it's not like you're just sitting around waiting for the phone to ring.
Oh, no.
It's referrals, and you're constantly nurturing relationships. And so you're investing your time and efforts that way, and dollars, but you're not buying cold lists. So I really wanted to emphasize that, because so many people even say referral marketing is dead. Referral marketing's never going to be dead. That's insane.
No, I can be a testimony to that. Like, for example, I have a client, they're from Honduras. And some people that come from Central America and South America, they don't necessarily have immigration status, but man, those people work and they have 2 or 3 jobs and they have the cash, but they don't have like help to get into a house and things. But you give them the education, you give them the service, and you get them to where they can succeed, and wow, they got a house. They're gonna be so thankful for everything that you've done. I have sold that family itself like 6 or 7 houses because they send me their cousin and their uncle and their brother. So like all that service, and I take care of them, like it's not just, again, it's not just that one transaction, but like I keep in touch with them.
Yeah, that's so good. And you are very good at that. And one of the things that you shined in when we started working together was, I'm like, you know what, video is the way to go. And you, even to this day, you've been consistently there, and you're like, I don't know what I'm saying necessarily. I don't know, like because it was like, it's not about what you look like. It's not even about what you say per se. It's about always being there, serving from the heart, giving good tips, and pointing them in the right direction. And one of the things I loved, and I just want to touch on this for just 1 second, you spearheaded something that hadn't been done locally, I don't think, at that point, and that was interviewing business owners. And you got a lot of traction from that. And so I just want to again highlight that, to say, you heard Carolina herself say, you know what was the thing of my success? Judy suggested something to do. I jumped on it. Let me ask you this. The investment of working with a coach isn't cheap. So whether in real estate or, any other service provider who hears this and all these different testimonials from my clients, they're like, you know what, Judy might be the one, because I've been looking to bring Jesus into my business, because why am I excluding him? But they're thinking, yikes, the money. So I would really love to, I would appreciate you being honest. Did you have a fear around money? And if so, like, how did you overcome that to say, yes, I'm doing this?
I mean, there's always that fear because, again, it's not cheap. It's something that you need to see it in okay, if I'm investing this much, but how much more am I going to be able to make, or to be more successful, or to get my branding correct so that I can move to the next step? That's really what the value is. So for me, it was scary because I just started. I'm like, well, I'm not making any money. Like, how am I gonna spend this much? But one, you pray and you ask the Lord, like, how are we gonna do this? Is this the right thing for us? But then take action. There's a lot of people that just keep waiting for the Lord to talk to them, but he's giving you everything right there. You just need to go get it. And with Judy, it's just like so natural. Like, you give us the hard love that we talk about, but it's necessary sometimes. Because we might think like, well, no, this is working, but it's not giving you the result that you're going for. So how can you say that it's working when it's not giving you the results? And one thing that I learned from you was to not always look at all right, this is where we wanna go. So just start thinking that way. Don't get just stuck down here. Oh, but when I get this, then I can do that. No. Let's just keep going. Move forward. This is the goal. Let's go for it. Stop being short-minded yourself and letting the Lord give you that wisdom to keep moving. And that was amazing for me. And it was totally worth all the money.
Yeah. And so I think what you're referring to, because we're using hand gestures in the podcast, people might not see what we're doing, right? Here. So I think what you mean, correct me if I'm wrong, that it's like, if you want to make $500,000, you have got to think like a $500,000 team leader, right? You can't think like even a $200,000 earner. You've got to say, what would I be? What is my $500,000 self? What would that person do? How do they think? What do they say? And what do they do? Is that
right? Yes, absolutely. Because sometimes we just well, yeah, I want to go this high, but I'm still thinking very low. Right. Where you just need to put yourself out there. And one thing that I do on my marketing as well is you gotta ask the people that you want to serve. When you don't learn how they act, what they talk, what they like, it's very hard to get to those people. And coaching helps you like understand those kind of things as well.
Well, another thing I want to land on, then we're going to wrap up, unfortunately, is pursuing the impossible and miraculous results. But it all goes back to faith, because when we move in faith and we live our faith in our business, God will reward that. He says that in his word. Yeah. And so tell me, if you would, explain to our listeners about the power of faith and belief, specifically as it relates to your success.
I mean, the Lord always have a path for us, Judy. I feel that I didn't think that I was enough to be able to do what I do. But then I kind of like started listening to God, like, well, why do you think that? Like, I have you for great things. And one of these things, and it's not necessarily related to real estate, but one time talking to one of the priests at my church, like it kind of clicked. I was like, I don't think I deserve to do whatever he was asking me to do. Like, I'm not worthy to do that. And he turned around and he was like, well, who are you to tell the Lord that you cannot do that? He's calling you to do that. Who are you to tell him no? And I took that to heart, and I've been taking it to my work as well. Like, who am I to take whatever talents and whatever he has given me and keep it just to myself when I can be serving so many people? And he brings, you know, all my clients. Like, it's not like I'm just waiting here for the phone to ring. No, I'm doing these things. But I feel like a lot of my clients that have come, they are also so faith-filled people. And that's one thing that I strive to, like, I love talking to my clients, say, well, I hope you're having a blessed day. Or when I finish my conversation, I hope you have a blessed day, or God bless you, or I'll be praying for you. Because like sometimes people don't like to talk about it. And so that has been one of my biggest successes, that I'm able to find those people that allow me to talk about God with them. And we put God in the whole transaction throughout.
Yeah.
And he runs my business left and right, and I let him work it. Sometimes we have wrestle times. But I'm just too blessed that sometimes I get that feeling of I'm not worth to have all this, but then kind of like, well, but I'm nobody to tell you not to do this, guys. So you have control.
Yeah, that is so good. And I'm with you. When I'm at church, you know, if there is a word for you in life, there is almost always a reciprocal kind of application to business. And that's a beautiful example. So Carolina, I just want to wish you congratulations. Brava, sister. I think from where we started, you're probably, oh gosh, at least tenfold, maybe more. And every year I just see your success and your growth. And now you're the successful top 100 team leader. And I just want to praise God for how he is moving in your life, and what a blessing it has been to have the opportunity to work with you. So
thank you, Judy. No, thank you. You have been a big part of this success for sure.
Thank you, hon. All right, ladies, thank you for listening. And I pray that this has blessed you, and we will see you next time.